Yeah, no, it's a quality win. Like, of course, you know, as we were talking about, like, there will be things in every game that you can go back and watch and say, hey, we have to be better here. The three-point basket that Clarkson hit late in regulation, you know, the communication, the film, those things. But the resilience by this group, you know, when it's, again, easy to show up and say we don't have our guys, there's no pressure to have to win. They continue to show that night in and night out, they are going to compete. They're going to stick with the habits and the fundamentals, principles that they work on daily and hold each other accountable to those things. And, yeah, another good win for this team without their main guys.
Big game, I'm glad you mentioned it, a 14-point lead. I think what we learned in the NBA is that no lead is large enough in this league, but especially with Utah, who shoots the three ball 23 today, 15 times this season. They've hit at least 20 in a game. They're at a historic clip on that side of the floor behind the arc. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's go back to Staples Center. Dennis Schroder is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Dennis Schroder, look, you had to do a lot of work at the end of the fourth quarter just to get to that overtime. What were you seeing from Utah's defense as you got to the cup multiple times?
You know, just try to be aggressive, you know, off pick and roll. You know, LeBron does that normally, and I just try to, you know, until he comes back, try to be aggressive, try to get to that cup, and if they're committing, you know, try to find the weak side for open threes and open dunks, and I think it worked out well tonight.
Yeah, then you get to the overtime, Dennis, and you guys were getting stop after stop. Finally, I'm sure it was frustrating at some points of the game as Utah kept hitting threes. Where did you guys lock in on that side of the court?
I mean, you know, first to get to that point, you know, it was up 15. That can't happen, you know, that they're tying up the game and going up 2 late in the fourth. But I think, you know, in overtime especially, you know, we got stops. You know, we attacked down the lane, played with pace, shared the ball, and that was the key for the game.
And finally, it looked like you're starting to establish some chemistry there with Drummond. You had the lob, of course, in overtime. What are you starting to learn about his game, Dennis, and where do you think that can take you guys moving forward?
I mean, he's a big key as well, man. Defensively, if he locks in, you know, he can be an X factor for us as well. Offensively, you know, he's putting so much pressure on the rim. When AD and LeBron comes back, you know, it's going to be really scary, you know, because he's putting so much pressure on the rim. So you got to take that as an advantage.
All right, Dennis, we appreciate it.
Thanks.
Let's talk a little Dennis and Andre Drummond. First, Dennis Fish, I want to start with you just from that point guard position. 25 points, 11 of 24, just 1 3, but 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Dennis came in 2 days ago questionable, even questionable again today with a possible foot infection or dealing with that. But he said he doesn't want to miss games. He's tough as nails. He continues to provide that stability and be that floor general that this team needs.
Yeah, and he, you know, new situation for him this season, adjusting a lot throughout the course of this season. Early in the year, okay, I'm a starting point guard, but I play with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. How aggressive can I be and or should I be when I play with those guys? Last 15 ball games, you know, without LeBron and AD, and continuing to find that balance of when do I go get mine, when do I set up my guys. And today he was ultra aggressive. And that's not usual necessarily for Dennis, 24 field goal attempts to get 25 points. Like, sometimes you have to do that in order to send a message to your teammates that you're here to win this game. And he recognizes AD, LeBron out. I could sit out, but I'm not going to because my guys need me.
And one time there in the fourth big game when I really turned my focus to Dennis and see how he would take care of the challenge ahead was he was on the bench when the Jazz went on that 12-0 run. And they went through that 6-minute scoring drought. He came in, he calmed things down. He knew what guys to go to when necessary, and as you mentioned, balance to take his own shots.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's exactly like Rondo, but he gives you that feeling when he has the ball in his hand, and he's learning how to do that. I don't think he always knew how to read defenses, understand how to utilize the shot clock, know how when a guy's opponent is in foul trouble, try to go to that guy and get him in foul trouble. He's a really smart guy. And the one thing that I sense that I feel like he's got like an invisible chip on his shoulder because I don't think that he thinks he's any less than any of the top guards in the league. When he plays against them, he goes at them really hard. And he's just a great addition to this club. And without LeBron and AD, he's been the pulse. He's been the guy that, you know, can get his own bucket, shoot the three, shoot the 14-footer, the 10-footer, make the assists. he's really been our MVP since they've been out.
You know, the other day I heard a quote from Chris Paul, who we've talked about the respect Dennis has of Chris Paul, and he mentioned it, watching him, especially during the stretch without LeBron James and Anthony Davis, just the way in which he has managed the floor and kept things in check for the Lakers. Transitioning over to Andre Drummond. I'd argue this was his best game, big game in a Laker uniform so far. I know there hasn't been a lot, and it was nice in Brooklyn, but today on both sides of the floor, he hit his free throws. He was 7 of 8. He had 3 assists, 2 steals, big in the third quarter, 27 points, 8 boards.
Yeah, I mean, we knew when we signed him what he could bring to the table. I think it just took a few games, you know, a little film sessions, a little conversations with, you know, guys on the floor and off the floor, and I think the coaching staff has kind of found some sweet spots for him. I didn't really think it was way out, you know, pick and roll and rolling. You know, New York exposed that defensively. Of course, New York's a good defensive team. But I think, you know, he's found his sweet spots. His team know where to look for him. He likes to flash into that middle. And, you know, his defense and put the ball on the floor reminds me of Shaquille O'Neal going full court. And, you know, he's a monster in the paint. He just throws his body around, and before you know it, he's got the ball in his hands, putting it back up. So, yeah, he's getting used to his teammates. His teammates are getting used to him. He understands the flow. It's getting better.
Yeah, and you know, before coming to the Lakers, he hadn't played a basketball game since February the 12th. And he comes to the team, you know, 6 weeks essentially later, toe injury, out again. So I think he's also, from physical conditioning, his body adjusting to being back in an NBA games every other night, the travel, everything that comes with it. And, you know, look out if he continues to get comfortable finding his ways to be effective on this team and can be this efficient. It just continues to get scarier. You know, LeBron talked about the thunderstorm coming. You know, as they get healthy, this team is going to be really, really challenging to play against.
One thing that has been a bit surprising but refreshing for me is, you know, when the Lakers went to add a piece there in the buyout market, a lot of the talk was about understanding what they had already in place. And when you add a piece, you want to make sure that they're able to seamlessly make that transition into what's already going on. And I've been a bit surprised in a good way with Andre Drummond and his attitude, his want and desire to lead when he can. And make his mark, but do it at his pace as that's already been established.
Yeah, and I think with this team being the defending NBA champions, when you have LeBron and AD as the best example of, like, you know, this is how we do things here. The seamless way that all of these guys work together, the culture, the camaraderie, the chemistry that we've observed with this group over the last couple years. If you're a new guy coming in, you're not disrupting that.
Yeah, you better only want to add.
Yes, and so I think it does. It says a lot about Andre, but I think a lot of the credit also goes to what has been established over the last few years since LeBron has arrived. Frank Vogel, management, ownership. There's an expectation now to be in LA, and it's good to see.
Yeah, if you've never been around that type of formula of winning year in and year out, if you've never seen it, when you get in that atmosphere, it's an eye-opening, and you do want to, you know, embrace that, and you want to be a part of that. Everyone has seen what LeBron has been able to do in a couple years since he's been here, attracting players here. They want to win, and so does Andre.
Speaking of the big penguin, Andre Drummond goes for 27 points. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Andre, there was that cold stretch in the fourth quarter, and just wondered what you guys focused on to get out of it with this kind of part of the screen roll action with you and Dennis, and how that ended up getting you to overtime.
You know, guys, that's a great question. I think for me personally, you know, I spoke about this before, trying to find the chemistry with guys on the court, and you know, we found something that really worked for us down the stretch of the game, and we kept going to it, and they didn't stop it. So now we know that that's something we can use down the stretch of games and throughout the game.
And Andre, such a unique look with Utah, the way they played tonight, of course, almost 5 out for the entire game. What adjustment was that defensively, and how did you guys eventually get to that, cutting it out in the overtime?
We just played. You know, we paid attention to the defensive schemes. Everybody was on one string. I mean, obviously we made some mistakes throughout the game, which brought them back in that fourth quarter. But when it's time to lock in, we found a way to come out with a win.
And then just wanted to ask you about the toe. Obviously, you missed the last game. Frank said it was something you got to re-aggravated and stepped on again. How did you get through tonight's game, and how do you think it'll go moving forward?
I think I'll be fine. You know, it's something that obviously is going to take some time. Anybody that knows what that injury is like knows it's not something that happens overnight. So sometimes it does flare up every now and again, but more times than not, I'm taking care of it. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to make sure I can be out there on the court. And moving forward, I think I'll be fine.
Hey, Andre.
Kyle Goon.
Hey, what's up, man? Appreciate the spirit always. I saw you wave to some fans after the post-game interview. Saw the streamers come down. I love LA. What's it like to experience a little bit of what a home win is like with fans at Staples Center?
You know, with the fans being in the arena, it was kind of a surreal moment for me because, you know, I've been in this arena on the opposing side and, you know, seeing them win and seeing the streamers come down and seeing the excitement and the energy in the arena and to be on this end and see what it's like, it definitely was a great feeling and something that I want more of.
Yeah.
Hey, Andre. What have you made of Dennis's sort of competitive spirit in your limited time with him so far? What did you see from that? From him trying to dunk, I think it was in the fourth quarter, to kind of just his play down the stretch.
Dennis is a competitor. I mean, I've played against Dennis his whole career. You know, I've got a chance to, you know, watch him and play against him, and he's always been that way his whole career. And to be his teammate now and see it firsthand, he's an incredible player. He doesn't give up. He plays every possession like it's his last. And defensively, he's far more, you know, advanced than people give him credit for. He's incredible defensively. He's great on both ends of the court.
Dave?
Andre, two quick questions. One, Frank said someone aggressively stepped on your foot in Brooklyn. What happened exactly?
You know, I can't remember. All I remember is I think I was going to the basket and I got double teamed and I got crushed.
Okay. And then to follow up there, unrelated, you go 7 for 8 from the free throw line today. Has there been any adjustment that you've made since coming to the Lakers? Was this a good day for the line? How do you credit that?
Just to focus. I know that that's something that I have, you know, against me throughout my career, and I've gotten better at it throughout my career. Being here now, having a clean slate, and, you know, with no, you know, extra people talking in my ears, to just focus and being at the line and shooting the shot that I know I can make.
We've got time for a couple more. Michael Duarte.
Yeah, Andre, as Dave was just saying, 7 or 8 from the line, 27 points, a couple steals, a block. Was this your best performance, you believe, in a Lakers uniform? And how is that chemistry you mentioned coming along so far?
I think tonight was a good game for all of us. I think for me personally, I think it was a pretty solid game. I just played my game. I'm just out there to, you know, help this team the best way I can. As a unit, we clicked on all cylinders. You know, we didn't allow adversity to, you know, get us out of our game, because they did have a hell of a run down the stretch of the game to, you know, tie the game up and actually take the lead and, you know, put us in a position to almost lose the game, with DS coming down with that great layup to put us in overtime. So, you know, the chemistry's getting there. You know, we're taking it day by day and we're having fun as we do it.
Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Andre, congrats on the win. You guys pretty much outscored the Utah Jazz in overtime 17-5. As you continue to build the continuity and the chemistry defensively, how much is that encouraging, and how much does that help you guys moving forward?
Yeah, we hang our hat defensively. And, you know, that's the reason why I'm really here, is to help defensively. And on both ends of the court, we're doing everything we can to, you know, build that chemistry. You know, we have a lot of guys that are hurt right now. I think the guys that are on the court are doing an excellent job of coming in and really playing very hard to help us win games.
A wrap with Dan.
Andre, I can't let you go before we ask you about running fast breaks. I think you had like 2 or 3 in a row in the third quarter, and you kind of, after the last one, sort of fell into Phil Handy's arms. I mean, how tired were you in that stretch? And I guess, and how fun was it to show that kind of part of your game?
Man, you know, that's something that I'm very good at, which is being in the passing lanes and getting my hand, you know, on the pick and rolls to steal the ball. So, you know, to have that happen 3 times in a row was definitely very tiring, going back and forth, and side to side. So I definitely was very, very exhausted when that timeout did come. So I'm glad Phil was there to catch me.
All right, thanks for going to wrap there. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All the last with Andre Drummond. Kyle Kuzma, a depleted Lakers team, face a depleted Jazz team. All the Trudell fans in the house. First quarter, no score. Ersan Ilyasova gets the three to drop. Jazz love the three ball, we know that. Next, a Laker possession. Big game, Dennis Schroder.
Yeah, the three ball was in play early. I thought it was a three-point shooting contest in the first half. Here comes another one.
Ersan again. Lakers respond, though. Kuz, KCP gets the three to go. 7 to go in the first. Jazz up 2. Bogdanovich to Clarkson. Fish.
Right at the end of the shot clock, Utah Jazz basketball at its finest. Drive, kick, shoot, and make the three.
Under 4, Lakers down 2. Alex Caruso crosses up Trent. Forrest, big game.
And the bank is open. See, I like this about Alex. More aggressive. He can hit that little 15-footer as he did there.
Lakers down 1. THT got the screen from Trez. Buries the jumper. Minute and change left in the first. Joe Ingles. Oh, guess what, Fish?
I should not have said I feel bad for Ilyasova because he made us feel bad in that first quarter.
They must have played that in the locker room. THT scrambling hustle. We talked about this at halftime. Big game.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny to see Montrez standing there, and then all of a sudden, he said, I need to get this. And when he gets it, man, he reminds me a little bit of Charles Barkley. When he gets it down there on the floor, he's going straight up and taking whoever is on his shoulders with him.
Ilyasova didn't miss all quarter. 5 for 5 on threes. Jazz up 1 after 1. Second quarter, Laker possession. Schroder turns, finds McLemore, who hits the three of his own. Instant offense from Ben. Later in the quarter, Joe Ingles fires, buries the three. As the ball goes in, Schroder gets knocked down by Royce O'Neal, but a foul is called on Dennis.
Yeah, I think Dennis, the referee figured that Dennis backed up into O'Neal's path, even though O'Neal ended up running through him. As we see Trez running through the Jazz defense for the strong finish from Dennis.
Under 7 left, Jordan Clarkson pulls up, drains the three. Less than a minute later, off the miss, THT to Trez, big game.
Yeah, you know, that's an AD play. We don't see that too often, but Trez is one that they look to over the top before the defense can get down there, outrunning all the defense opponents. Trez gets it, lays it in.
KCP then dumps it off to Drummond, lays it in. Young fan loving it. That is Jared Dudley's son. Next Laker possession, Kyle Kuzma. Near the paint, he hesitates, spins, scores. That was his first bucket of the day. To the third quarter we go. Drummond. Oh, playing some defense, going coast to coast. Big Penguin.
Hey, he hit the tightrope on that sideline too. Strong finish.
Raising the roof. 10 left in the third. More Andre Drummond.
Oh.
Spinning.
The spin.
Better get the oxygen tank out.
He's not done. Less than a minute later. Triple team.
Drive and draw and kick.
Frank Vogel's squad outscored Utah 64-38 in the paint a short while ago. He spoke with Mike in the media.
Hey, Frank, just zooming out in the whole game, how did you feel like you handled that unique nature of Utah's 5-out lineup?
Yeah, I thought our guys really competed through it. You know, we know it's going to be a unique challenge a little bit. You know, expect the unexpected. Didn't know who they were going to start. We knew they'd have shooting bigs, which is not typical of Utah's system. And, you know, they're very good at shooting the three ball. And we knew they'd shoot more of them, you know, without a rolling big. So, you know, Ilyasova got off in that first quarter. We made some adjustments to do a better job on him. He made one the rest of the way, and it was very well guarded. And you know, it was a game where we made more in-game adjustments in this game than any game this year. You know, just to counter you know, their different attacks. So I was proud of our guys for you know, following the changing schemes throughout the game and you know, competing to take the game over, and then not panicking when Utah came and made that run in the fourth quarter when we went really cold for a stretch. We were able to not panic and you know, force overtime and secure the win.
Greg, it seemed like a lot of what you were getting late came from Dennis and Andre and some screen roll action. Just wondered what you saw with Utah's defense there and how key that was, especially with Dennis leading the way.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to stick with what's working for us, and those two guys, the pick and roll game really all night was working for us. So, when we had our struggles during that one little drought there, wanted to make sure that we stayed with that even when they went into the zone, and those guys were really making enough plays to get the W.
And then, Frank, just wondered what the plan was for determining AD and if he's going to have any chance of playing on Monday in the rematch against Utah.
Yeah, unlikely he plays in that game, but we'll see where he's at, as we continue his work.
Craig, can it be good in a way to lose a lead and then build it back up in terms of going through that type of experience for a group and something you can lean on in the future?
Yeah, I prefer not to lose the lead and just to secure the game. But there's positives in it in every situation like that. To have a team storm back into a game and take the lead, the way they did, and to not panic is definitely something we can draw on going forward, because there's gonna be another team at some point in the future that makes a run like that, and we have this experience to know that we'll prevail.
Kyle, you stuck? Hey, sorry. Specifically with Andre, what did you make of his ability to be in the defense when Utah, was able to play 5 out? What did you learn about his ability to rotate and match up in that?
Yeah, it's a challenge for any big, to play against 5 3-point shooters when they're used to manning the paint. And the challenge for us is that he's so new to our system, that even though we can show him all the tape and take him through all the reps in practice and whatnot, it takes some time to get familiar with the scheme in real time against an opponent that you're not sure what they're going to run, and to have that cohesiveness with his teammates, it takes time. But I thought he just competed through it. We changed the matchup a little bit. He got his hands on a lot of balls defensively, which really created the third quarter run that was really good. And it's just going to be one of those situations that the more opportunities, more reps he gets playing against that, the stronger he'll be and the stronger we'll be.
Time for a little Fish's Focus. What are we breaking down, Derek? Christopher, that was for you.
Geets, I'm not sure where you are today. But we'll talk about that later. Late game defense is what we're breaking down. Yeah, today. I mean, a lot of times late in games, coming out of a timeout, as we are here, Utah Jazz executing a little set to bring Jordan up, and a lot of teams, what is called kind of a ghost screen. Jordan runs up. He's going to run like he's going to set a screen on Kuz, and he slips out without setting the screen. And it causes just a little hesitation. Dennis isn't sure if Kuz is getting through, and that's all Clarkson needs to get that shot off quickly. Knocks down a 3, gives the Jazz some confidence. But here, still staying with it. KCP, look at him, helping support in the right spot. Hands up on the weak side. Out in transition, and then nice pass by Dennis, and KCP with the nice smooth finish, and then that calf start cramping up on him, and then K-Cock slipped and hit the floor, and everything got crazy. But late game defensive situations and still sticking to your principles, it's a hard thing to do, but good teams do it, and KCP did a good job there on that play.
That first play was the one you wanted him to
ghost pick.
Break down.
Yeah. People ask me all the time, why don't they switch that? They should switch that, but it's really not a pick. It looks like it, and a long time ago I played, but I remember being frozen for just a second, and that's enough to get a good shooter, a catch and shoot guy off quickly.
Sometimes
we do it with Wes Matthews. Sometime I think McLemore tries to do it, but that was ran to perfection. I wanted to see it on.
It's one of those. No matter how good the defense is, sometimes offense just beats it.
Yeah.
One of those plays. Mm-hmm. We know where Geeter is. Apparently, he's checking in. Yeah, thanks, Allie.
That's how he's smiling too, for real.
That is my text back to you, Geeter. I'm not texting you.
Where is Geeter, man? He's supposed to be here with us today on Saturday. Where are you, man?
Where are you going? Where are you at? What you doing?
Be a team player.
We're going to break.
Christopher?
Be a team player, Christopher.
Montrez Harrell, he was here today. Loud, making some noise, feasting. The putback. We'll be back right after this. Teammates loved it.
Not a chance.
Andre Drummond. Markieff Morris returned to the lineup and finished with a double-double. He's speaking with Mike.
Hey, Keith. I was just wondering, in that stretch in the fourth quarter when things just went cold and turnovers, Utah scoring, what did you guys do to refocus and to get out of that slump?
Just stayed poised. I hit a couple tough shots, man. I thought we did a great job of contesting the three-point line, but they shot 56 threes or something, 59 threes or something like that. I just, eventually he was going to start making some. It was a couple that we left open. They're great shooters, so we kept our poise. Was able to get the win at the end.
Hey, you generally don't miss many games. The ankle was swole up on you the last couple. How did that feel, and how did that impact your getting back into rhythm tonight, if at all?
Felt cool. It was a little sore. It felt even better to come back well rested after I was up 4 games or 5 days or something like that. It felt even better getting back out there after a couple games off.
And then also just wondered what you thought of Drummond and how you feel like he's been integrating into the squad, and specifically with tonight's game, Pete.
He was a monster in the paint, man. They played small, so we need him to dominate the paint. We're gonna need that, in the playoffs. Just want to keep, encouraging him to, dominate the paint, get every rebound, contest every shot, and just do the small things to win.
Yeah.
Hey, Markieff. I think the play-in is a month from tomorrow. You guys are getting healthier. AD will be back soon. LeBron after that. Are you getting a sense that it's time to kind of ramp up? Are you feeling that within your group? And do you guys kind of see the light at the end of this grind?
I don't think we ever lost focus of the light. We're not worried about a play-in at all. I don't even know when the date is for that. I know it's next month, but that won't involve us. We get healthy at the right time, and it's perfect for us, man. With this crazy season with all these games and back-to-back nights and days off in between. Without our best 2 players, we held it down for the most part. Now we're getting them back, fully healthy, ready to make this work.
Time to check out Inside the Numbers, presented by Alexis. Your final score, 127-115. 59 threes attempted. 69 of the 115 points for the Jazz came from deep. Lakers, though, dominating on the boards. Put up 26 dimes. Took care of the basketball. Dominated in the paint. Bench 27-15. Favor the purple and gold. More to come on Access. We can't get enough of him. Jared Dudley's son was no doubt the fan of the game today. Lakers win at 127-115 in overtime.